Hello everyone, welcome back to our online classroom. Today I will discuss to you all about conditional and related statements. What we want to achieve in this lesson is to be familiar with the fundamental rules on how to convert or rewrite a conditional statement into its converse, inverse, and contrapositive. But first, we need to review what a conditional statement is because it is the foundation or precursor of the three related sentences that we are going to discuss in this lesson. What is a conditional statement? A conditional statement takes the form if P, then Q, where P is the hypothesis while Q is the conclusion. A conditional statement is also known as an implication. In addition, the statement if P, then Q is commonly written as the statement P implies Q, which is expressed symbolically as P implies Q. Sometimes you may encounter from other textbooks or resources the words antecedent for the hypothesis and consequent for the conclusion. Don't worry, they mean the same thing. Now, as a student, you have deadlines to beat. The professor's line, if you do not pass your requirements on time, then I will give you a failing mark. It's called a conditional statement. The first statement, if you do not pass the requirements on time, that will be the hypothesis or the P or antecedent. Then I will give you a failing mark that will be the conclusion or the consequent. Next is, given a conditional statement, we can create related sentences, namely converse, inverse, and contrapositive. They are related sentences because they are based on the original conditional statement. So, yan lang yung kakailanganin natin. Dapat meron tayong conditional statement para makabuo tayo ng sarili nating, makabuo tayo ng converse, inverse, and contrapositive. Now, the converse of a conditional statement, for the given conditional statement P implies Q, that is for the conditional, we can write the converse statement by interchanging or swapping the rules of the hypothesis and conclusion of the original conditional statement. Therefore, the converse is the implication Q implies P. That is for the converse. Next is, notice that the hypothesis P of the conditional statement becomes the conclusion of the converse. On the other hand, the conclusion of the conditional statement Q becomes the hypothesis of the converse. Now, the inverse of a conditional statement. When you're given a conditional statement P implies Q, the inverse statement is created by negating both the hypothesis and the conclusion of the original conditional statement. Thus, the inverse is the implication, not P implies not Q. Next, the contrapositive of a conditional statement. Suppose you have the conditional statement P implies Q, we can compose the contrapositive statement by interchanging the hypothesis and conclusion of the inverse of the same conditional statement. In other words, to find the contrapositive, we first find the inverse of the given conditional statement. Then, swap the rules of the hypothesis and conclusion. Therefore, the contrapositive of the conditional statement P implies Q is the implication, not Q implies not P. So, to save time, we need to combine all the truth values of the conditional statement and its converse, inverse, and contrapositive into a single table. Ngayon, na-discuss ko na doon yan siya sa truth table na discussion kung paano ikukunin yung negation, yung implication, yan. So, dito, meron tayong PQ. So, ito yung magiging truth table natin na gagamitin. Ayan. So, next is, kukunin natin yung not P tsaka not Q. Ang pagkuha ng not P, ibig sabihin ng not or negation is done opposite truth value. Kung true, magiging false. Yung false, magiging true. So, dito tayo titingin sa P, tapos yung Q, dito din. Ayan. Next, kung kukunin natin yung conditional statement, tandaan lang, basta implication or conditional, ang first dapat na statement natin true, the second statement will be false para magiging false ang sagot. Ngayon, kung titingnan natin dito, dito muna tayo titingin sa P tapos sa Q. Kasi yung nauna na question dito is P bago ang Q. So, P, titingnan natin saan dito ang una ang true tapos sunod false. Itong pangalawang statement. So, yun yung magiging false. Yung hindi masatisfy dyan, yun yung magiging true. After that, kukunin natin yung converse. Ang converse is, ganun pa rin, implication pa rin yung gagamitin, pero ang first na nag-start dito is yung Q, tapos implies P. So, ibig sabihin dito tayo titingin sa Q muna bago sa P. So, kung kukunin natin yung implication ng Q to P, so, ibig sabihin yan, true dapat mauna, tapos false, para magiging false. Yung third statement lang yung na-satisfy. The rest will be true. Next is, kukunin natin yung implication ng not P tapos not Q. So, dito tayo mag-focus. Kasi nakuha na natin yung not P tapos not Q. Implication na lang. First statement dapat true, second statement is false para magiging false ang sagot. So, ito lang yung nasatisfy, yung pangatlo. Next is, ang contrapositive naman is not Q implies not P. So, not Q mo nang titingnan, tapos not P. So, ito yung nagiging sagot niya. Kung napapansin nyo dito, ang conditional at saka ang contrapositive, magkapareha sila ng truth values dito. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, ang conditional is logically equivalent to contrapositive. At the same time, yung converse saka inverse is logically equivalent kasi meron din silang magkapareha na truth values. Ngayon, ang conditional doon sa converse saka sa inverse, hindi sila logically equivalent kasi magkaiba sila ng truth values. So, ito yung napapansin natin doon sa table na yon. Ito yung findings natin kanina. The conditional statement is not logically equivalent to its converse and inverse. Next, the conditional statement is logically equivalent to its contrapositive. Thus, P implies Q is logically equivalent to not Q implies not P. And the last one is, the converse is logically equivalent to inverse of the original conditional statement. Therefore, Q implies P is logically equivalent to not P implies not Q. So, yan. Let's proceed to the given example here. Let P stands for the mass of an object increase and Q stands for the weight of an object increases. So write the conditional, converse, inverse, and contrapositive statements using the given conditions indicates the notation for each statement. So here, conditional, meron na tayong P doon, the mass of an object increase, then ang Q natin, the weight of an object increases. So dadagyan lang natin siya ng if, tapos then. Yun lang. Tapos ang notation, P implies Q, Q implies P. Sa converse, ang inverse naman, not P implies not Q. Ang contrapositive is not Q implies not P. So, sa conditional tayo mag-base. So, if the mass of an object increases, then its weight increases. Doon natin yan nakuha kanina sa P tapos sa Q sa taas. So, babalik ta rin ang sabi doon kanina sa converse, babalik ta rin lang natin yung conditional. So, if the weight of an object increases, then its mass increases. Next, inverse natin, inenegate lang natin yung conditional statement. So, if the mass of an object does not increases, then its weight does not increases. Ang contrapositive naman, if the weight of an object does not increases, then its mass does not increases. Babaltarin natin yung inverse. Ayan. So, next, write the statement in if-then statement form. Then write its converse, inverse, and contrapositive. Try to stop muna yung video na to, then try to answer. Then, i-check mo lang yung sagot mo mamaya. Okay, number 1, two parallel lines do not have a point of intersection. Dito, napapansin nyo na hindi binigay yung P, tsaka yung Q or the hypothesis, tsaka yung conclusion natin. Tayo yung gagawa sa hypothesis and conclusion. Kung gagawa tayo dyan, ang conditional statement ay magiging if two lines are parallel, then they do not have a point of intersection. So, dito, two lines are parallel, then they do not have a point of intersection. Pwedeng ganun yung pag-construct natin dito. So, that will be the conditional statement. Tama naman talaga na ang if two lines are parallel, then wala talaga silang point of intersection. So that is the notation. Ito pala yung notation natin. P implies Q. Ang converse naman natin is if two lines don't have a point of intersection, then they are parallel. That is Q implies P. Kabaliktaran lang ng conditional. Ang inverse naman is the negation of the conditional. So if two lines are not parallel, then they have a point of intersection. Ang contrapositive naman, in-indicate natin yung yung kabaliktaran ni inverse or ang kabaliktaran pala ito ni inverse. So if two lines have a point of intersection, then they are not parallel. So yan. Next is, this will be the activity. Try to answer this one. And stop mo muna, tapos i-check mo yung sagot mo mamaya dito. So ito yung sagot natin. So I hope marami kayong natutunan. That will be all. God bless everyone.